Alright, so far you already have reviewed your notes over ser and estar, because anytime you say is or are, you need to ask yourself ser or estar. And now we're going to be looking over our notes for comparatives and superlatives. In the past, in Spanish 2A Unit 1B, we learned about super superlatives. We learned about comparisons of equality to say someone or something is as blank as someone else, but we are going to be learning some new information about this. And we also learned about comparisons of inequality. We will soon be learning about regular superlatives and the irregulars when it applies to these. So let's start with our review over the super superlatives, comparisons of equality and inequality. What do we need to know? What do I mean by super superlatives? Well, it's to say that someone or something is extremely or super good, bad, interesting, etc. I will always say super, because super superlatives is a whole lot more fun. You don't have to make that sloppy circle on your notes. How do you do a super superlative? Well, you take the adjective you want to use. If it ends in a vowel, you drop it, and you add isimo, isima, isimos, or isimas. So that would mean that Ana es altísima means Anna is super tall, because alto dropped the vowel, added isimo, but made it match because it's Ana. That girl is super angry. This and these have T's, that and those don't. So, esa niña, chica, or muchacha está enojado is our adjective. Drop the O. I'm talking about a girl, so isima, enojadísima. The boys are super bored. The boys would be los niños, muchachos, or chicos. Están, we're using estar in these sentences because angry and bored are emotions. And bored is aburrido, drop the O, add isimos to make it match the boys. Now let's talk about comparatives, because that's it for super superlatives. Comparatives. We have two types of comparatives or comparisons. Ones that are equal and ones that are unequal. First, we're going to be talking about comparisons of equality when referring to actions or qualities or characteristics, to say as blank as. Here is our formula. Please make it nice and neat. These formulas are super important. You take the subject, it's in parentheses because of course you can always leave the subject out of a Spanish sentence if it's already clear by context or by the verb form. Then tan blank como. You put the adjective or the adverb here. Tan blank como, and then whoever you're comparing it to. Examples. This girl is as surprised as that girl. This and these have T's. Esta chica, niña, o muchacha. Está, surprise is an emotion. Tan, sorprendida. Como. Esa chica. This and these have T's, that and those don't. Example sentences are also super helpful to have for reference. So that's why we're writing them down. Ana argues as frequently as Dora. Frequently is an adverb. So Ana discute tan frecuentemente como Dora. Don't forget ly is mente in Spanish. So there's another example sentence, this one with an adverb. Moving along. Okay, so we already have the tan, adjective, adverb, como, as blank as, in your notes. But this information is new to everyone, so please find a way that you're going to add this to your notes. If you previously had that information in your notes, you can add a new sheet and put it in between these. You can decide how you're going to do this, but you must have these additional comparatives of equality notes. This is new for Spanish 3s. So this stuff right here, you don't have to write that. It was just sort of for reference here. But additional comparatives of equality. If I want to say something like Manolito talks or speaks as much as Felipe, I'm comparing an action, and this is how you do it. You have your verb. You have your verb. Tanto como equals as much as. So that would be Manolito habla tanto como Felipe. He speaks as much as. And that compares an action. If I want to compare quantity, I again use a form of tan, tanto, or this time it has to match the noun, como, equals as much or as many as. If I want to say that Condorito has as much fame as Mafalda. These are names of characters in a famous Spanish comic strip. But anyway, Condorito has as much fame as Mafalda. Or if you notice, I could take fame out and it's still a sentence. Condorito has as much as Mafalda. That's why the noun and fame can be taken out. In which case, Condorito tiene tanta to match fama como Mafalda. Here's a different way if you don't want to use tan, tanto, or these versions. You can use igual que, and it also makes a comparison of equality. My sister is the same as Susanita. So I would say my sister, mi hermana, es, that's my verb, igual que Susanita. My sister is the same as Susanita. Or if I want to compare qualities or characteristics, I can use igual de plus your adjective or adverb que. So this is going to say the exact same thing essentially as tan, blank, como. It's just another way to do it. Felipe is as tall as Manolito. Of course, I could say Felipe es tan alto como Manolito, but I'm going to use this new structure, and it's Felipe es igual de alto que Manolito. So those are some new ways to make comparatives of equality. And some of them are related to the one we already knew, and the two others use igual, which means equal, the same. And now we need to talk about comparatives of inequality when referring to actions or qualities or characteristics, which means that we're going to be saying blanker than, smarter than, taller than. So here's your formula. Again, it's very important that this be nice and neat so that you can follow it if you ever need it for reference. You need to beware of irregulars, which we will be talking about soon. And here's an example sentence. Ana discute más frecuentemente que Dora. What would that be saying? Ana argues more frequently than Dora. I've got my subject, which of course could be left out, my verb, más, because I'm saying more, and then frequently is my adverb, than Dora. Of course, in this case, I could take frequently out and just say Ana argues more than Dora, but that's how the formula works. This girl is shorter than that girl. Please remember that in Spanish, there's no way to change an adjective and make it What you have to do is rephrase it to say more short than that girl. So we get esta chica, muchacha o niña. Es, we need to say more short. If I'm following the formula, es is my verb, and then I need más baja, because of course my adjective has to match who it's describing, que esa muchacha. And that's how you make a comparison of inequality, as long as you're not using one of the irregulars, which we will talk about at a different time. Thank you for taking your comparatives notes. That's not what I wanted. There we go, because these are the things that we need to know for this unit. Good job.